Let's make it a good day.
Coming up today, who you gonna call? The Ghostbusters are back, and we're getting our first look at this Stay Puft sequel, complete with scary ghosts and mushy marshmallows. Then, they are the local ghost hunters behind the cable hit Destination Fear. We're talking about their new season and their personal fears.
This is it, this is it.
And it's throwback time. We're looking back at some of the most revolutionary sitcoms in history, the shows of Norman Lear. Here we go.
Let's make it a good day. We do it our own way. Let's make it a good day. Oh, no matter what they say. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Good morning, Jordan. Not Kendall's husband. Good morning, Red Wing. Good morning, Brewster. Brewster, Women of Brewster Place, great show. And good morning to you. Welcome to the Jason Show. I'm Jace. Please say hello to my sidekick sister from another mister and Payless Shoe Sources Employee of the Month, Kendall Mark, everyone.
Hello.
You could pay more, but why?
Oh, I was like, but you pay less? I
No.
didn't get that right.
Do they even
Sorry.
exist anymore? Do we have Paylesses went out of business, didn't they?
Well, there was one at the Mall of America, like semi or something.
No, I think that died. Yeah.
Oops.
Anyway, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I was really hoping I would remember what it was called, but there's a place in Jordan that has really good fried pickles. Everybody who lives there will know what I'm talking about. It's a bar. Clancy's Bar
Clancy's.
in Jordan. So if
Clancy's?
you're ever around and you're looking for some fried pickles
In Jordan,
in Jordan.
go to Clancy's.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is Jordan by your beloved Red Wing?
No, it's closer to Shakopee.
Okay. We got to go there. We got to go there.
Okay.
We should go to Red Wing sometime, too.
I would love to.
I would love to, too. Let's say hello to our audience today. It's Alicia and Dan. Hi, guys. Let us just acknowledge, Kendall.
Yeah.
First of all, you two are the best dressed audience members we've ever had.
Yes.
And you have one of the best settings and background. You have a cozy fire, even though it's 400 degrees outside. It's lovely. Where are you guys coming from? Where are you zooming in from?
We are in Welch right now, so it's raining here, so it fits the fire.
Okay.
I love Welch.
Oh, you love Welch? Wait, Kendall, you've been to Welch?
Well, Welch is by Red Wing.
See?
Oh.
They've
and-
got the ski hill, Welch ski hill, and they've got good cute little restaurants. My people are from there originally.
Yeah, and Alicia, you know this. Red Wing's like catnip for Kendall, so anything dealing with Red Wing, she gets excited. Well, we're going to have fun with the audience with Alicia and Dan a little bit later. Thanks for being here, guys. We'll talk to you a little bit later, but yes, my love?
Dan looks like Aaron Rodgers, kind of.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Well,
and he's been all over the news lately because he's back with the pack, but anyway.
How is that going to go, by the way? Is he, because there were some shenanigans, is he going to be welcomed with open arms?
When he throws 4 touchdowns in a game, I'm sure he will be welcomed with open arms, yes.
Oh, so the fans will forget about the shenanigans if he
Yeah,
does
and Randall
well.
Cobb is reportedly back, so they'll all be very excited. Everything's fine.
Okay, I turned into hoots and clicks right about there. I have no idea. It's like I brought it up, but then I regretted it. You mentioned other people, corn on the cob, and anyway. Speaking of food, Kendall and I went for a little road trip yesterday with a producer and friend, Baby Bjorn, the BB. We went to Starbucks. And I bring up Starbucks because I said this on the radio show. I have a message for Starbucks. I got confirmation, I got intel that they're changing the recipe for my beloved drink, the salted caramel cream cold brew. They're changing it in a month and they're making it sweeter, which I don't understand because the glory of that beverage is the fact that it toes the line of sweetness. But they're now changing it to make it sweeter. So Starbucks, if you're watching this, please, why are you messing with perfection? Now, I'm also bringing up Starbucks because, well, tell the folks what happened yesterday, Kendall.
Well, I wanted to show all of you at home that Jason really does order this drink and how funny it is watching him order it because it's like 75 pages long. While I'm recording this for our Instagram page, he gets done and the woman goes, "Jason?" It was the best live moment ever. It was so funny.
Because they're used to me coming in the wee hours of the morning, and this was about 11:30.
Right.
And you get to the box and it's like, "Welcome to Starbucks. Can I take your order?" And I go, "Yeah, I'll take 3 venti salted caramel cream cold brews with extra foam blended on 4." Jason, is that you?
Angela? He
Yeah,
says.
her name's Angela at the
knows
Eden
her.
Prairie. They know me there. I'm there, most days of my life.
Well, and it's like such a specific drink order.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
like
mean,
my goal in life, is to have something so specific that I have all the time that someone goes, oh, it's you. I love you.
You don't want to be known as the picky one. You don't. Yeah. But hey, you post and tell folks where they can see that. They can see the video.
Yes, it's still on our Instagram page. It's on our story. We also saved it though. It's called Starbucks Order on our Instagram, Jason Show TV.
Jason Show TV. Go follow us right now. Speaking of food, one more time. Leo, roll it. Let's get to the hot dish. Here we go.
Yummy.
Yummy. Hey, it's been decades in the making, and we're finally getting our first look. Oh, this is so good. I watched this yesterday. We're getting our first look at the third Ghostbusters movie. The trailer for Ghostbusters Afterlife dropped yesterday. Look at this.
What are you doing here in Somerville anyway?
We're completely broke, and our grandfather left us this creepy old farmhouse in the middle of nowhere.
Your father wasn't much of a homemaker. He could hardly keep the power on.
You're saying he left us nothing?
Well, I wouldn't say nothing.
You went with the station wagon?
It's the only one that had an engine. What is happening here?
Somehow, the town with no fault lines is shaking on a daily basis.
Maybe it's the apocalypse.
The film has Paul Rudd, Carrie Coonfin, Wolfhard from Stranger Things, and McKenna Grace. So you're thinking, okay, those names are nice. Here's some other names. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Annie Potts, Ernie Hudson will all make special appearances. Ghostbusters Afterlife hits theaters in November. This is why this is so good, and it reminds me, if you look at this trailer, the tone, the visual, the way it's shot, reminds me of those great summer movies in the 80s, and I'm talking Ghostbusters, The Goonies, stuff like that. And what makes this me excited about it and confident that it's not going to be a dumpster fire is the fact that it's done by Jason Reitman, the son of Ivan Reitman, who did the first two Ghostbusters. Because you noticed I said this is the third Ghostbusters. I'm not counting the one with Kate McKinnon, only because this one is the actual sequel to those two. So, doesn't it look good?
It looks so good, and we want people to watch the full trailer, but the very end of it,
Yep.
After the credits, little nugget is
Little
so
surprise.
fun.
Little surprise. Someone picks up the phone. Who are you gonna call?
Ghostbusters!
I love that you know that song. And you weren't even born when this movie came out.
I love Halloween.
Oh, that's right, you do, yeah.
Yeah, and I do like this movie.
Jason Wright, I have immense faith in him. Comes out in November, in theaters. You can't watch it on streaming. This is one of those movies that you should watch in a theater.
Totally.
Absolutely. Next in the dish, actress Lucy Liu is opening up about an altercation that she had with Ghostbusters star Bill Murray on the set of Charlie's Angels about 20 years ago. This has been rumored about for years in Hollywood. Lucy said her clash with Bill happened during a rehearsal on a scene that had been reworked without Bill knowing about it. Apparently, Lucy and others worked on the scene because without Bill because he was attending a family function. He wasn't there. She said during rehearsal, Bill was not happy with the changes and tossed all sorts of insults at her. Instead of just taking it, she stood up for herself. Now, at the time, the incident leaked in the press, and she was called the instigator. She says she and Bill have since reconciled. Of course. I mean, it's, Lucy. And I do remember those rumors that Lucy Liu was trouble.
No, she's difficult.
That's right. She's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah.
Don't work with her. And I'm sure it did kind of damage her career.
Yeah.
But Bill Murray has the same reputation, and it doesn't affect him.
Right. And she said that she knew she was, and these were her words, that she was low on the totem pole, but nobody got to treat people like that. And so she was like, no. And that people that worked with her also said, thank you for saying something.
I think it would be dealt differently if it happened right now. I think it would be, hopefully, I say hopefully. Next in the dish, the Sex and the City reboot still hasn't aired yet. I think it's this fall. But HBO Max is reportedly in talks to greenlight a second season. The reboot is called And Just Like That. It stars Kristen Davis, SJP, and Cynthia Nixon. Insiders say the door is still open for Kim Cattrall to return. HBO Max isn't saying anything, isn't commenting on either report. Season 1 is expected to debut in the fall. Look, it's really nice of them to say Kim is always welcome back. I have news for fans. It's never going to happen. The bitterness and the divide between Kim Cattrall and SJP will never be solved. It'll never be fixed. Kim is done. I don't think there's anything that will bring her back to the franchise. But what this report tells me is they're not going to kill her off in the reboot. They're not going to kill off Samantha.
Right, which is kind of what we'd speculated,
Yeah.
and then eventually did say that it's not that weird that eventually after that many years people wouldn't be friends anymore.
No, the friends you have in your 30s aren't necessarily the friends you have going into your 50s.
Right, people move.
That's
people
real
just
life.
grow up and don't like the same things,
Yeah.
or have babies and the other people don't have babies, or whatever it is, you know?
If you go to the And Just Like That Instagram, you'll see the young actors that are playing the kids of Miranda and Kristen
Cynthia.
Davis. Kristen,
and
Charlotte.
oh my gosh, Charlotte.
Charlotte's
It's like
characters.
Lily and Rose.
Lily
her
and
kids.
Rose.
Yeah.
And then Miranda's kid with Steve. So, yeah, can't believe they're teenagers. That makes me feel old. Yeah. Just saying. We're going to take a break, go get some more Cheerios and a Bud Light, and we'll be back right after this. Coming up next, I Feel Pretty. Kinda. It's a brand new sneak peek at Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Will this redo live up to the original? Then it is one of my TV guilty pleasures. I am so excited to talk to the stars of TLC's My Feet Are Killing Me. And from haunted houses to paranormal happenings,
I feel like we're being surrounded right now.
it's all in the new season of Destination Fear. I'm chatting with the stars of the show who just happen to also be Minnesotans. That and more when we return.
Tyler, Esther B texted, what was your reaction when Jennifer Aniston knew who you were at the People's Choice Awards?
I was speechless. It was the first time I saw an angel.
She came up, did she come up to you?
I almost got ran over by her security. And then once I stumbled through all that, she was like floating, and then she's like, "Hey, how are you?" I'm like, "Hey." And I was like, "Good. How are you?" You know. And she kept on drifting away, and that was it.
Was there a thought? Was there a part of you that wanted to ask her out?
No. I was running back to my mom, and I was like, "Mom." I got my mom. So.
By the way, have you ever dated an older woman?
No.
Former Bachelorette contestant Tyler C. on Watch What Happens Live with Countess Luann from New York that looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like Tyler?
Yes, I do.
Do you?
Yeah, I know you're not the largest fan, Ted, but I like him.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
I like, okay, so there's a lot of vanilla toast happening here. You got the milk toast and the vanilla put together for vanilla toast. However, he's a very nice guy.
Okay.
And he's really nice to look at, you know what I'm saying?
There is. I mean, yeah, I don't want to, talk about the Declaration of Independence with him. I'm just.
Do you want to talk about the Declaration of Independence with anybody?
I do sometimes. Next in the dish, Julia Child, Rachel Ray, Move Over. There's a new cooking queen in town, and you may have heard of her before, because, well, she's hot. Take a look.
Paris Hilton, finally showering her culinary expertise and kitchen prowess as you've never seen her before.
That's hot. Literally.
Though her kitchen is no simple life, this is Cooking with Paris.
Wait. I spoke too soon.
Ew. Welcome to my kitchen. I love cooking.
How you're getting your feathers and everything.
I'm a natural.
You
guys watching at home, we did this wrong, so do it the opposite way for this part.
Yep. Yep. Totally gonna watch this. Cooking with Paris comes to Netflix. Oh, it's my birthday present on August 4th, the day before the birth. Paris also recently addressed rumors that she's pregnant. She responded, "The only thing in the oven is the cheesecake." Yeah, it was funny. If you looked at social media, it was all Paris is pregnant was trending, and then like 15 minutes later, Paris isn't pregnant was trending. She's not pregnant.
She's not. It's only the cheesecake, people. How good does this look?
I know. I can't wait to watch it.
Oh,
I love her. And I just want, now that we love Kathy Hilton, I just want Kathy to be on it. I want her on every single episode.
Your feathers are getting in the food.
Yes. Let's talk to our audience. Let's go back to Alicia and Dan. Now, let me take a good look at Dan because I don't want to embarrass him, but Kendall says he reminds us of Aaron Rodgers. You do, Dan. You do. You're a good-looking guy, Dan.
Thank you.
He is, yes.
I haven't heard that one before, though.
Yeah.
I don't see the Aaron Rodgers. But...
You don't? Yeah, let me.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Maybe
but
I just won't.
How long? Alicia, how long you guys been together?
We've been together since like 2000. We've been married since 2000. How can I do this? 15.
We've been together, married for 3.5 years.
Alicia.
Go, girl.
We've known each other since we were 18.
Oh. No, I was gonna go with an easier question, like, how did you guys meet? How did you guys meet at 18?
We got introduced to a friend, and Dan. It was the 4th of July, and Dan had a lot of fireworks. So.
Are you meaning something by that, Alicia, or do you mean actual fireworks?
No, yep. He went to Wisconsin and came back.
Literal fireworks.
They met, Kendall, they fell in love over illegal fireworks. I love it. We're going to check in with Alicia and Dan a little bit later. Thanks, guys.
I know exactly where they bought them, too. I've probably been there.
Well, let's not talk about it. I mean,
there's a place right across the river in Hanger City.
Okay, great.
Right?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Of course. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Oh, God. I love it. When did you guys meet? 04? 06?
Sometime.
And then Dan, 8 years ago. Yeah. Dan just gets right to it. Next in the dish, you guys are going to love this. Steven Spielberg's version of West Side Story has faced a lot of delays because of the pandemic, but we're finally getting another look, a better look at the musical. Check this out.
There's a place for us.
You're not Puerto Rican.
Somewhere.
Is that okay?
A place for us.
You tell me.
Kill the lights.
So good. Ansel Elgort and Rachel Ziegler, who's like brand new. I mean, your first movie, and you're working with Steven Spielberg. Right. I mean, come on. Right. It's coming to theaters in December. I say a lot on the show, there are certain properties you shouldn't touch. You shouldn't try to redo them. A lot of Spielberg movies I would put in that category, like E.T. West Side Story, I think, is a little bit different just because of the makeup of the cast and who's helming it, because it's Spielberg. If you look at the shots, look at the composition of the shots, like look at this. I mean, the fight, just the shadows, that is
the elongated shadows.
Yes, that setup is very Spielberg. And I can't wait. I mean, and Rita's in it too. I mean, she's one of the, I think she's listed as like a consultant or a producer. If she's touching it, and I have the utmost confidence it's going to be great.
This is another one like you have to see in theaters.
Yes.
The sound, the visuals.
Yes, you want it to wash right over you. And then when it comes out, you and I should do a rendition of I Feel Pretty.
That'd be so fun.
Yeah. I There is a show on TLC that is probably not everyone's cup of tea, but oh my goodness, you know I love it. It is a guilty pleasure. My feet are killing me, and it follows podiatrists who confront all sorts of foot ailments. Here's a little bit.
So my next patient, Alicia, she sustained a horrible motor vehicle accident about a year ago.
Alicia? We'll take you to the back.
When people are in horrible accidents, horrible car accidents, they're rushed to the emergency room, and the emergency department's job is to save your life, period. So the emergency department saved her life, thank goodness. And unfortunately, her feet are the only thing that still need to be fixed. So today, I'm gonna see her and see how I can basically put her feet back together again.
And she will. If anyone can, Ebony can. The debut of season 3 hits TLC next week. Joining us now is one of the stars of the show. She's my favorite. Please welcome Dr. Ebony Vincent. Hi, doctor.
Hi, how's it going?
Good. Can I call you Ebony or should I call you Dr. I mean, what can I call? What should I call you?
Dr. Ebony, Dr. Vincent,
Perfect.
you choose.
Dr. Ebony, I love. Okay, Dr. Ebony, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. What made, out of all the fields of medicine, what was it about feet as in your younger self attracted you to, attracted you to feet, Dr. Ebony?
Well, you know, I didn't know about the field of podiatry initially. I didn't have like these childhood fantasies of being a podiatrist, but I did have my own trauma with bilateral knee surgeries when I was younger. Essentially, I went through the whole gambit, the whole surgical reconstruction of the knees, the physical therapy, and I really did like my surgeons. I loved my physical therapists, and so that kind of introduced me to the world of medicine. And I found the field of podiatry to be very perfect for me because it's both surgical. I can definitely deal with a lot of things with my hands that I can make better. And then I'm also dealing with the clinical side of things, which is what I like to do. I love people and interacting with people, and so I really do like developing relationships with patients. So, you know, that podiatrist does with both, and so it really does fit me, and I found out that I definitely have the stomach for it. So it's not a career where you can have a weak stomach.
No.
And so not a lot of people can do it, but I can.
No, and that's why I said even watching the show, and I'm not even making a joke because I'm a fan, you have to have a strong, right, Dr. Ebony? You can't just come into this, you have to. So with that, you've been a podiatrist for years. We're now on season 3 of the show. Does anything shock you? Did anything in season 3, and you've seen it all, I would think, did anything shock you? Did any condition shock you this year?
Yes, of course. You know, there's always something that comes in on a daily basis as a podiatrist that you're like, never seen that before, or that's interesting. So I do think that podiatry is a field that's unique in that sense where you can see a person who has a blanket diagnosis of something that's common, but it's presenting different in every single patient to the point where you're always trying to figure out different ways of treatment processes that is specific to that person. So I think that over the years, you know, while you're shocked, you're not as shocked that you're shocked.
Yeah, totally. Well, and the reason I love this, there is the factor of watching this show and like Pimple Popper and stuff. But what I like about this, truly, if I go down to the level, the base level of why I like it, it is because, as cliche it is, you guys are changing lives. You really, really are. And so on that note, why do you think on a human level, why do some of these folks wait so long, doctor? Is it embarrassment? Is it shame? Is it fear?
I think it's all of the above, to be honest with you. I think that a lot of times people's lives are just busy, or they're more focused on getting through the day, and then that becomes their norm. They're like, if I can get through today and the next day with this horrible foot problem, then it can't be that bad because I achieved my goals through the day. And then 20 years go by, and then you realize from a fresh pair of eyes, like, this is not something you have to deal with. Like, there can be help for you. And I think that's another portion of the problem is maybe people don't have podiatrists in their area, or anybody who even knows that they have a foot issue, especially if you're able to put some pants on and some shoes on and cover it up. No one would be the wiser that you even have something going on.
Yeah.
So it could be a variety of reasons as to why people just don't address it. I think the show is putting things out there for maybe people to see, like, hey, if you have an issue, like, you can go to your local podiatrist and maybe they can have some solutions for you.
Absolutely. It's a good thing about the show. One of the many reasons. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it.
Yes, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you. My Feet Are Killing Me returns to TLC next week. Check your local listings. You can also watch old episodes on their streaming app, Discovery Plus. May I tell you, because we always like to pull back the curtain, it took an act of Congress to try to find a clip that we could play of the show that wouldn't make you sick.
Yeah.
To put it very bluntly.
We watched for you.
Yeah. I mean, there was a whole meeting. And we love meetings here at the station. There was a meeting to look at clips.
Yep.
And that was the one we chose.
Yep.
We're going to take a break. We'll be back with stars of another cable hit right after this. Welcome back. Thank you for being here. Well, if you're looking for a good scare, a little good scarish show to watch, look no further. Destination Fear has it all. It features a group of Minnesotans who visit abandoned buildings known to be haunted, right? Don't we all just want to do that? And season 3 just launched on Discovery Plus and the Travel Channel. Here's a little preview.
Are we talking to Bonnie Hetty right now? If we're talking to Bonnie Hetty, can you tell us about how you got to this place, how you got here?
Bury. Like bury a kid in the backyard.
Yes!
Bury.
Like, that is a huge part of that story. If we are talking to Bonnie, is there something else you want to tell us?
Why did they kill the child? That's what I want to know.
That's a good question. Bonnie, all we want to know is why you killed.
I mean, that gives new meaning to being ghosted. You know what I mean? Anyway, please welcome the stars of our show. They've become friends of ours over the years, Dakota, Tanner, and Alex. Hi, guys.
How's it going?
Okay, let me ask you about that clip. You got a text message from a spirit, for heaven's sake.
Yeah, that's kind of what that device is.
It's a good way of looking at it. It's a device that has a database inside of it, and yeah, it's believed that spirits can choose one word at a time.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that's like a haunted speak and spell. We had those in anyway. That was in the that's an '80s reference. All three of you are too young. Okay, every season you guys come on here to talk about the new one. Give me a highlight from season 3. I'm looking here. You guys go to an Ohio State reformatory. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's the location that I got to pick. So every single location we go to, one person is in control, and the rest of us have no idea where we're going. So that was the place that I got to pick. And let's just say when we separate, we sleep alone. I definitely got back at these guys for some of the challenges they put me through.
Was it that bad, Tanner?
Oh, yeah. I mean, on this next episode that airs this Saturday, I get blindfolded and put into a dungeon for 3 hours. So I definitely felt like I had to get back at them when it came to my location.
That's basically what photographer Eric lived through during the pandemic, but that's a whole other segment. Dakota, let me talk to you. Missouri State Pen, what happened there?
Well, Missouri State Pen is where I put Tanner in the dungeon. It was up to fate. We had to do a draw, but I brought the team there because it was one of the most haunted prisons that we hadn't gone to yet. And I think the biggest takeaway, the biggest scare there was the gas chamber that is still there that executed over 50 people.
Oh, and so Tanner, you spent the night in there, or what? You said what, 3 or 4 hours?
Yeah. So we get dropped off at when the sun goes down, and we get picked up when the sun comes up. So for 3 hours of that, I was locked in the dungeon, blindfolded. For some reason, we needed to use duct tape to make sure I don't take it off. But you know, it got me to not take it off. It worked. But yeah, that's not where I ended up sleeping alone. Someone else ended up sleeping there, but you're gonna have to wait until Saturday to see where I sleep.
Alex, favorite moment of the season for you, my friend?
Oh, probably the end of the Ohio State Reformatory when they finally came to get me out of my sleeping location. I don't really want to give a whole lot away unless I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, just
You know what? Great idea to get revenge on people and to scare us. He was going to lock 2 of us to a jail cell for our sleeping arrangements.
Shackled
with cuffs. And one of the lucky 2 to get shackled to a jail cell in the largest cell block in the country.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is all in season 3. We got to take a break. Tanner, I just found out a few minutes ago your mother works here.
Yeah.
Tanner's mom works here at the station. I was like, I found that out moments before the interview. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Hi, Mary. More with the cast of Destination Fear when we come back. Back in a moment.
We are on our way to an abandoned penitentiary. Is there anybody here?
There's not an inch of this facility that has not seen bloodshed on it.
2,000 people died on site.
Gas chambers? It's killed.
This place alone at night by myself, I'm not walking through here.
I want to see what happens when we take away one of our senses.
What are you doing?
I did not feel like we were supposed to be in there.
Chelsea cannot stay down there alone.
What is that?
Oh my goodness. No, I think it's like repeat myself. Every season when the guys are here, I say it. No way, no way. And Dakota, Tanner, and Alex, while we're watching that clip, executive producer Jeff goes, "We should totally send you out with those guys." Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
No. Yeah, you know what it would be? It would just be 4 hours of a grown man crying in a cell. That's what it would be. Yeah. As the crew claps at that. Thank you, guys. Anyway, Dakota, I asked you this in season 1. I asked you this in season 2, so I'm going to ask you again for this season, a version of what we just talked about. Single scariest moment in season 3 for you, or the show in general. Doesn't have to include you. The most terrifying, in your opinion.
I would have to say, as a group, there was one night. It's episode 6 of the new season, and we caught someone breaking into the building, and we caught him on camera. It was one person. It wasn't a group of kids or anything. It was one adult man, and we don't know what his intentions were, and he kept coming back. And it was the creepiest thing we've ever experienced because we were already at a very haunted location, and to have to deal with a human element on top of it made for an extra scary night. For me, the scariest.
And that's episode 6, Dakota?
Yeah, episode 6 at the Oddfellows home, and it was brutal.
Okay, I'll be DVRing that one. Well, we all know that they're not afraid of a lot. They're not afraid of what we're seeing here, but are they afraid of common things? We're going to play a little game with the guys. Roll it, it's game time, Leo. Today's game is called Scaredy Cat. I'm going to give the guys a common item, and they have to say which one of the group is the most likely to be scared of it. So just point to each other or say who's scared of it. I have 7 items here. So here's the first one. I'm going to take a look at you here. The first one, snakes.
I had to touch mine this season.
That's Dakota.
Dakota, your snakes for you?
Yeah, and my sister made me touch 5 of them this season. So that sucked.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you on that one. Okay, next one, Leo, go ahead and put up the picture. Spiders.
Ooh, I might go Al.
Yeah, thank you. Probably me.
All kinds, Alex, or certain ones?
Anything that can crawl around on 8 legs, I don't like.
Yeah, that's a good motto. Okay, the dark. Just generally the dark.
All
Can we say all of us?
Or
Yeah.
Chelsea.
Yes.
End of the bus on this?
Okay. Yeah, this is out of all of these, well, there's one. This is probably, I'm 46 and I still don't like the dark. Okay, next one. Water or dark water.
I know you have a fear of the ocean.
I don't like that.
Alex, you have a fear? You have a fear of the ocean?
Just what's in it?
I know. Alex, I just got back from Hawaii and I was seeing paddle boarders in the middle of the night paddle boarding out in the ocean, and I'm like, no, you can't see what's below during the day, let alone the night.
Yeah, you won't catch me paddleboarding in the ocean at night.
No. Okay, next common fear. Let's see who's going to pick this one. Heights.
Ooh.
Most
Janet?
Oh, tie between me and you, Dakota. That's for sure. Not a height.
Well,
we've done on this road trip. We did hot air ballooning this road trip, and me and Tanner, I'd say, had it the hardest.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I can't do a hot air balloon. Guys, we always appreciate when you come here, and so thanks and continued success with the new season.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks, guys. The second episode in season 3 drops Saturday on Discovery Plus and will debut on the Travel Channel Saturday night at 8. It's so good. When we come back, we're looking back at some of the most classic and revolutionary sitcoms of all time. The shows of Norman Lear when we come back.
I want you to go back in there and show Arthur how cheerful and smiling you can be.
I'll try.
Okay? Now remember, I want you to be cheerful and smiling. And cute and perky. Now cancel the cute and perky, we'll go with the cheerful and smiling.
That's a clip from the classic sitcom Maude, starring the one and only Bea Arthur. That scene featured her best friend Vivian, played by Bea Arthur's future Golden Girls co-star, Rue McClanahan. Welcome back. There's a good reason we're showing you that clip today. The show's creator, Norman Lear, turned 99 years old yesterday. He's the man behind countless classic TV shows, from Maude and All in the Family to The Jeffersons and Good Times. And he's still at 99 making TV today. Yesterday, TBS announced it's rebooting one of Lear's cult sitcoms, Mary Hartman, Mary Hartman. I think my mom watched this. Lear will executive produce the show. Yep, at 99, he's still an executive producer. The reboot will star Emily Hampshire, best known for playing Stevie in Bleeps Creek. The updated show follows Mary as she becomes a social media star after her nervous breakdown goes viral. I've talked a lot over the years about how Norman Lear changed TV with the show All in the Family, but he also made history with Good Times. The show centered around Florida Evans, who was first introduced as the housekeeper for Maude. Since Maude was a spinoff of All in the Family, Good Times became the first show to be a spinoff of a spinoff. It was also the first show on TV to feature a two-parent African-American sitcom. Good Times aired for 6 seasons on CBS, making a star out of Jimmy Walker and introducing everyone to a very young Janet Jackson. Now, before we get to the other one, that show, I mean, people credit, and rightfully so, The Cosby Show as being revelatory for Black Americans, but there were shows that if there wasn't Good Times and if there wasn't What's Happening and there wasn't Diane Carroll, The Cosby Show on NBC wouldn't have happened in 1984. And I know it seems like, well, what's the big deal about showing a black family on TV? It was a big deal. And it showed the reality for black Americans in 1970 and handled topics that before then would never have been touched. It talked about the economy, and it talked about poverty. It talked about living in the project. I mean, it talked about things that in the 60s, Bewitched never talked about. So for all of those reasons, it was another Norman Lear show that pushed the boundaries of what you would talk about and what networks would allow to be talked about on TV. Another show that made history back in 1979 was this one, remember?
This is it, this is it, this is life, the one you get, so go and have a ball. This is it, straight ahead, and rest assured, you can't be short on. So why
Look, this is still just one of the best themes ever, but this is One Day at a Time, which introduced a realistic portrayal of a divorced mom raising children on her own. The show, as a lot of you know, was rebooted several years ago. This was, again, I know right now you're thinking, what's the big deal about a divorced mom? It was a big deal. Just 5 years before this show debuted, CBS wouldn't let Mary Tyler Moore be divorced. In the Mary Tyler Moore Show, she was just single and separated. Carol Brady, they couldn't say divorced on the Brady Bunch. If you notice, if you go back and watch the Brady Bunch, they never mention that Mike and Carol are divorced or one of the spouses died. You couldn't talk about it. 5 years later, to have a single mom on television was revolutionary. I mean, isn't that, it's weird to think about.
It is weird, but you're right. When I think about these other shows, I'm like, oh yeah, no, you didn't talk about any of that.
Yeah. And that show also, gave us Mackenzie Phillips, Valerie Bertinelli, and the great Bonnie Franklin, who sadly died several years ago. Lear's company also produced several movies, including Stand By Me, The Princess Bride, and one of my favorites, Fried Green Tomatoes. Yeah, he was an executive producer on that show.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Look, even if you don't agree with Lear's politics, I always refer to the Mount Rushmore of television, if there ever was one. You know, Lucy's on there, Carol Burnett, Lauren Michaels. Norman Lear will absolutely be ahead on that Mount Rushmore. He single-handedly changed television. All of his shows talked about things. He was one of the first shows in All in the Family to talk about gay people. And one of the first shows to talk about, think about this, I just rewatched this episode. All in the Family featured a trans woman, a friend of Archie. I mean, this was in the 70s. I mean, they did things that wouldn't pass network censors today. So anyway, a lot of these Norman Lear shows, I told you about this a couple weeks ago. The great thing, a lot of these shows will be available on either IMDb or Amazon really soon, including The Jeffersons and Good Times. So go on your streaming service and type in their title, and you should be able to find at least a couple episodes. Well, we're gonna take a break. We'll turn into a Southerner there. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back. Don't forget, you can stay connected with us on social media 24 hours a day. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. We post clips from the show. Kendall does an amazing job with our Instagram account, behind-the-scenes video, teases, stuff you don't see, stuff during the commercials. It's all right there, Jason Show TV. Are you ready for today's bubblegum goodbye question?
Yes.
Kendall.
Jason.
What is your favorite childhood vacation memory? The answer to that. Plus, we're going to say goodbye to Alicia and Dan when we come back. Back in a moment. Welcome back. Let's say goodbye to our new friends, Alicia and Dan. Guys, thank you so much for being here. When we can have our studio audience back, I would love for you to come visit us, okay?
Oh, yeah, we will.
Perfect. And then you guys are now the proud owners of this new fabulous Jason Show mug. We'll get that sent off to you right away. Okay, bubblegum goodbye question. Your favorite childhood vacation memory?
We used to go to this place, Huddles, on Leech Lake every year since
Okay.
I was like 5 or 6 years old. And we still go. And so it's not like one specific memory, but I have just so many up there. And it's northern Minnesota vacation, you know?
Every summer, we would go to Daytona Beach.
Yeah.
And I would, by the end of the first day, I like to talk, and I would know every kid in the pool's name and biography by the end of the first day. So
I love
I always think about that. Tomorrow on the show, the Thrifty Traveler will join us in studio. Our first in-studio guest in like a year and a half. We'll talk about all things travel, plus Dax Holt has some exciting news. That's tomorrow. Right now, go out there and be yourself because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong. Thanks for watching. Stay cool today. We'll see you tomorrow.